Welcome back to another video. This is the second one that we've done, and we've just went shopping in Woolworths, which you'll see in a second, and we are going to cook one of the recipes out of my ebooks today, which you can find in the link. We're going to cook some recipe high protein blueberry pancakes, which we'll do for my pre-workout before we go in. Success! Great success! Money. Alright, let's get cooking. No. Thank you. Lighting. Go in. I am prepping at the moment, so we're 18 weeks out of my show, which will be October 1st. So I just did a small shop to get my essentials plus is what I need. Powerade for during my workout. It's also really good for my cravings. It's really sweet. There's not many calories in it at all. I highly recommend this for people that are dieting as well, or just to get your electrolytes in. It's a really good drink. I really like the blue flavour. I've got my chicken breast. This is my main meal at the moment. For my prep, we're actually doing 150 grams of chicken, 300 grams of rice 4 times a day. And my breakfast is cereal, which what I'll do is I'll put in MyFitnessPal and I'll show you how to do that. Tofu as well to change it up from the chicken. We've got the bananas for the pancakes. We've got the egg whites for the pancakes. Broccolini to have with my chicken. And then I've got coconut oil and blueberries for the pancakes as well. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to walk you through it and teach you how to cook the recipe. So I'm also going to show you how to count this into MyFitnessPal as well, which you'll see right up on the screen. So with my recipe ebook, I created barcodes for everybody to scan into your MyFitnessPal, whatever meal app you decide on tracking with. So it's super easy. I've got my screen up here. So in the morning, you can see that my breakfast here is here. I'm currently doing about 3,500 calories. This will cut a little bit as we get closer to the show, but I am losing weight, losing about 1 to 2% body fat per week. So we're well and truly ahead of schedule. You can see here that I have my rice puffs in the morning for breakfast with my protein, a little bit of oat milk and frozen blueberries. So with the recipe here, what I'm going to do to add your food, you click add food just here. The easiest way to do this with my recipes is you click scan barcode. You come over to the iPad or wherever your recipe book is, you scan that barcode and it comes up here. So one serving is 257 calories. I've already created the recipe for you, so you just need to add it in. You click tick and then it goes into your first meal there. So you can see that we got 2,700 calories. It's currently 1:30, so I do have a fair bit of food that I need to eat before the end of the day, which we'll get done as well. But this is going to be the pre-workout meal for today. I'm going to walk you through it and then we'll go from there. The first thing that you need to do for the pancakes is grab yourself egg whites and bananas as well. The first thing that you need is probably an isolate. I find that the whey doesn't really work. So if you get you an isolate protein, I find the whey makes it really gritty when you have the pancakes. So what you need is you need your egg whites. It doesn't matter what brand you use. I'm using these Sunny Queen 100% egg whites just because it's much more convenient. If you use real eggs, you just need to crack the yolk. My recipe is 1/4 cup. This is where all the protein comes from. So we'll do 1/4 cup of egg whites. If you want to use normal eggs, you can. It's around about 4 eggs, I found. Depends what size eggs you get. Once you've got the egg whites in, chuck in your protein powder. So I do 1 scoop. In the recipe, I've got vanilla whey, but I've ran out of vanilla, so I'm going to use strawberries and cream. So it's going to be like a strawberries and cream flavour, which I've got some jam to put on as well. So it's 1 scoop, which is about 25 grams. You chuck that into your bowl. Then you grab a whisk, and you whisk it as big as you can until those egg whites get nice and fluffy. If it gets too thick, you can add a little bit more egg whites. It depends what protein you have. Using a plant-based protein, I find that it doesn't mix into the egg whites enough, and it's really thick as well. So if you use an isolate, if you're vegan, you can use a plant-based protein. Try and use one that's a little bit thinner than your normal protein, just so it mixes into the egg whites, because you can see here that it's nice, smooth. It doesn't have much of grittiness or like clumps. I find that with the vegan protein, you get a little bit of clumps in your pancake. So this is actually pretty perfect here. So during prep, I don't really have this much. For my breakfast, I mainly just have the cereal, but we're making it today just to give you an insight of my recipe ebook. And if you want to buy this, it'll be in the link below, and we'll chuck up a link just down here. So you can click this link here. We'll go down to the subscription, subscribe and like it, and then you can grab that recipe book. So once that's a nice, good texture, the next thing that we're going to do, I've got my recipe right in front of me here. So, oops. Hopefully this is what they're going to look like there. And you can see that all of my macros, I've broken it all down for you as well. So it's all there, easy, ready to go. So the next thing that we're going to do is get banana. So I use just 1, or you can use half, depends how thick you want your pancakes to be. We'll do half just for now. I get a fork and just mash it. It needs to be really soft. This one's a little bit hard. When we went into Woolworths, they didn't have any brown ones. So if you have any brown bananas, it would look a lot better.
A few moments later.
So you can see it's a nice, thick, gooey texture. That's what you want. You don't want too much clumps of the banana. You want it to be nice and soft so it mixes well. So put all of that into your mixture. This is 1 serving. If you're doing like a family or you're cooking for your partner, you can just double everything in here and make the same amount. Now I do have a trick. If it's too thick, you can add in a little bit of almond milk. So I get the Almond Breeze 40 calories per serve. It's the lowest one that I can find. And it's quite good macros as well. So mine's not too bad, but I'll add a little bit in there just to show you. I like my pancakes thicker, so I've just put a little bit in there to make it a little bit runny to go in the pan. Then you just grab your whisk again and whisk it to make sure it's nice and smooth. It's better if you do use brown bananas. As you can see, it's a little bit chunky here, which isn't too bad because when it cooks, the banana will mix into the mixture fine. So that's not too bad actually. Call me a chef. So with my pan over here, I'll turn this on. You want the pan nice and hot before you put on the pancake. So I'm pretty lucky I've got gas. You get your coconut oil. And it's half a teaspoon. I use this organic extra virgin coconut oil. I don't really measure, I just sort of guess. This is a good fat source for your day. And I like using coconut oil because it gives that sweet flavor. If you want to use spray to save your calories, you can do that. But for this purpose, I just want to follow the recipe as best as I can to give you guys exactly what I do. So I just mix that in the pan. I'll wait for it all to melt, and then we'll throw our mixture on. This recipe is so easy. It takes you about, once you get the hang of it, it takes you literally 5 minutes to make. It's really good for meal prep as well. If you want to cook heaps of them, then you just put them in containers, and then you can take them to work. Cat was on the fucking bench. surprised he hasn't jumped up here to try and eat pancakes.
I thought that was him. I just fucking tripped over.
Oh my god, he's always jumping over everything. Alright, so once this is nice and hot, we'll throw them on. This is something that isn't in the recipe. I haven't thrown it in there because, I probably should, but I like it a little bit sweeter. So I get vanilla extract and I just put a dash in it. It just makes it a little bit sweeter. There's not too many calories in vanilla extract. I haven't added it in here with my macros, but I'm not too fast. It's just a little bit of a dash. And then I just make sure I stir it in so it doesn't get separated. All right, I'm gonna put this in. Perfect. So I leave it sit for a good 5 minutes until you get bubbles in the side of the pancake. And then you add in whatever mixtures you want. For my mixtures, I've got frozen blueberries. You can get fresh, but the fresh blueberries are so expensive right now, so I just stick with the frozen. I've got the Queen's Zero Sugar Maple Syrup, which is a lifesaver. I put it on quite literally everything. And then I've got some sugar-free jam to put on top. This extra is maybe around the 60 calories, so it might take, your 257 calories to about the 300 for your pancake. So once this starts bubbling, we'll flip it over, but then we just leave it sit. Try not to undercook it, because when you flip it, it's just going to go everywhere. So you want to wait until the bubbles come up, and then that will be the meal done. This is what you get when you live with a cat. Just hair everywhere. This is getting like a little bit burned. That's how I tell that it's about ready. Now with a bit of luck, I haven't burnt it. Straight underneath. Look at that. Perfecto. Golden brown. Alright. Alright, so this is pretty much ready to go now. So at the bottom it's golden brown as well. That's alright. We'll flip it over. It looks so much better there. There we go. Look at that. Fucking perfect. I know, that's fine. And then for my mixtures, I just do frozen blueberries. So I just put these on top. I just do about a handful because I have berries in the morning for breakfast as well. I probably don't need too many. Oh my god, get off. It's always jumping on the bench. Usually I've got a Nerf gun pistol. Shit. But it doesn't hurt, it doesn't care about it. Alright, back to this. So now I've got the Queen Maple Syrup, the zero sugar, and I drown it in this because it's my favourite thing in the world. And then I've got the jam, so I just grab a teaspoon, give it a bit of a mix because it does settle, and then I just chuck it all in the middle. And that's pretty much it. Now, optional mixtures, you can put peanut butter on top, which is what I've got in the photo. I don't put peanut butter on it at this stage just because I am dieting, so I have a little bit less calories. But the Macro Light powdered peanut butter is really good. You make it a little bit runny and you just splatter on there, and that gives a nice peanut butter effect. And look, let's do a comparison, and this is the outcome. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby. So like I said, if you want to change how much you have, just double or triple the recipe. So the recipe makes 1, so there's 3 of you, there's 4 of you. Just triple or double the recipe, and that will keep you out of trouble.
That's fucking good.
So this is my current pre-workout stack that I take. I do a pre, a pump, and BCAs during as well. So the pump that I'm taking at the moment is the Legit pump, which I've found to be really, really good. I actually need a new tub at the moment. The one thing that I look for in a pump is the L-citrulline. So the L-citrulline is going to help with your blood flow in your body. All pumps, or most pumps aren't stims. That's why I've got the pre-workout as well. So this is almost empty, so I'm just going to chuck this all in. But usually I look for about 6,000 megs of L-citrulline in a pump product, and it will have a little bit of beta-alanine in it as well. But I've got that in the Total War, so I'm not too fussed with that. And any sort of pump that's got pink Himalayan salt in it is fantastic. Otherwise, what I do is I get normal salt, and I'll just do 2 cracks in my shaker. Total War is a really good pre-workout. I've been taking it ever since I've really started. It is definitely one of my favorites. I just really like Redcon 1. I like how it makes me feel. I don't really get a crash from it. This is pretty strong. The caffeine in this one has 250 megs. So I do about a scoop and a bit. I try to get around that 3 to 350 mark. I know it's a lot for some people, but it's good for me. I like a lot of caffeine, so Total War is fantastic for me. It's also got green tea extract in it as well, which is going to help with the energy. And this also actually has a little bit of L-citrulline in it as well, so it's going to help with the pumps. This has sodium in it too, so I'm getting a fair bit of sodium from this and this, which is going to, sorry, excuse me, which is, I can feel like the dust like coming out of my nose. That's going to help with your pumps as well. So it's best to take your pre around half an hour before your workouts. I don't understand the people that drink their pre-workout going into a workout. It needs to be able to digest and get into your bloodstream. So drinking it during your workout, you're going to find the best effects right towards the end. So it's always good to take your pre 30 minutes before. And then I've got this really good Axe and Sledge, the Grind EAAs, Hydration and BCAs. One of the best probably EAs out there. They've got weird names, so the Scorpion Venom, shout out to Axe and Sledge. See, I should be saying here, shout out to Axe and Sledge, give me a sponsorship, but I couldn't care less because I'm happy to give them my money. Mixed berry flavour from Nutrition Warehouse, Sam Dyer got that for me. So if you go see him at Elizabeth, for those people that are in Adelaide, he will help you out. Really good. It's got all of the 3 essential amino acids in it, plus all the essential branch chain amino acids. So it's a really quite a good formula, and it definitely helps with mild hydration as well. So we're going to finish this and then get into legs today. I had a question on my Instagram poll the other day, actually. I'm going to bring it up on my phone and show you. It's from Sam. What's your favourite lifting shoes? So I don't actually like to train in shoes. I always train barefoot. The number one reason why is I feel more comfortable not wearing any shoes. I feel a lot more stable, and also a lot of shoes have a limit toe spread. So if I put these shoes up, these are probably a bad example, but when you're looking at a shoe store, most of the new shoes on the racks will look like this. So shoes like this limit toe spread. So to get the most amount of stability, we want our toes to be spread out. We don't want them crushed into our shoe. So shoes like this narrow your toes and limits your toe spread, which causes instability in your stance with things like your squats, even just your walking. So I like to make sure that I train barefoot. Vans or Metcons are really good shoes as well because they encourage that toe spread. But being in the facility that I am, like a studio here at the base, I'm very lucky to do whatever I want. So some gyms won't let you wear shoes. Will have to make you wear shoes because of the danger. But my opinion is that if you drop a 20 kilo plate on your foot wearing shoes and wearing barefoot, it's going to hurt no matter what, and you're going to break your foot no matter what. So I always train barefoot, even in upper body, even when I'm doing my mobility stretching, even just arms, biceps and triceps. I always like to be barefoot. It just makes me feel more grounded and become one with the gym. That's why I don't wear any shoes. So a good question from Sam, but my best shoe choice is no shoes or Metcons or Vans. So that's my go-to. So I'm gonna drink this and then I'll do cold water with 1 scoop of BCAAs and I'll do protein and pure carbs at the end of the workout, which is what we'll show you as well. But we're gonna jump into some legs. So I'm gonna walk you through, we'll do some cutscenes and a little bit of some explanations about the exercises that I do as well. So let's get it. So the biggest thing with a hamstring curl is you actually want to hug the bench. So I always tell my clients legs over top, legs underneath. Strap yourself into a roller coaster. We don't want to be leaning back into the hamstring curl. What you'll find is a lot of people pull and their bum slides forward and they say, why is my lower back hurting so much? So what we want to do is we want to come back into that stacked rib cage. We want to lean forward and hold as furthest away as we can from the hamstring. Hug the machine, stack this rib cage, and then we're pulling all the way down. The reason why I'm doing this is now I have no movement in my ilium at all, which is your hip bone. This isn't moving, this is staying still. So the only flexion and extension I'm getting is in my knee joint, which means I can completely shorten my hamstring and lengthen my hamstring without moving my ilium down. So you can see here that my ilium is moving up and down. We want to keep this stacked knee flexion, knee extension, all in that hamstring. That's what you want to do when you do your hamstrings. That way you won't be arching down. So when we jump into a leg extension, we actually want to prop our toes up as high as we can. This creates more stability in the knee, so you don't want your knees your feet just hanging. You want to prop them up as high as you can and drive through that pad. That's going to create more stability in your knee joint by pushing your tibia up into your knee joint, and this is going to create more stability around that patella, keeping your quads a lot stronger. We don't want to be leaning back and arching up our rib cage. We actually want our rib cage to be stacked down so then we can engage our core more. So what I do is I actually lean forward off of the bench. I stack my rib cage down, promoting a little bit of a thoracic tilt, thoracic bend. Rib cage down, toes to the sky. I'm pulling all the way up and stopping just before full extension, coming all the way down and then driving up. And that's going to create much more stability in that knee joint. Little investment that we got into. So I bought a vending machine with one of my clients. We're going into business together. We're going to try to put as many vending machines in gyms as we can. This one's not the best, I guess, but it's a start for us. We're actually going to change this coin system for PayWave, so you can PayWave with your card. So the other thing is, we don't know how to code, how to change the prices yet. So we're going to put Monster, Powerade and other things and water in there as well. But at the moment, we don't know how to change the prices. So we just got that in there for now. Until we get the pay wave, then we can change the prices through an app. And then we'll throw some other stuff in there. But we're looking at putting vending machines in heaps of gyms and starting like a mini business with that as well. So it's called Drinks For You. And hopefully, if this takes off, then we'll be putting a few more out there. So if you need some snacks, come to the base and give me your money. So we just wrapped up legs, and I'm going to take you through what I have post-workout. I try to have this on the way home from the gym or straight after my workout. It's super simple. I've got one thing. So I've got the Rule 1 Isolate. I've got creatine and pure carbs as well. So I do 1.5 scoops of the protein, which I will track on MyFitnessPal, and I'll show you what to do as well. So with the protein, I just go add food, I click scan barcode, and then I scan whatever protein I've got. The isolate is a lot less calories than what a whey and a vegan protein is. It goes through a hydrolyzed process where it takes out the gluten, the GMO, a little bit of the dairy, a little bit of carbs, and a little bit of fat. So it's just a leaner source of protein. It's also really good for people that have stomach issues and can't stomach protein very well. It digests a lot faster. It's a lot easier on your stomach. However, it's a little bit more expensive, but I highly recommend it. I don't weigh it. I just do 1 scoop and then half a scoop. So we've got about 50 grams. So I put that in there. Oh, I just put my lid in the protein powder. Jesus. I don't track my creatine, so I can't believe I just did that. So I'll click tick on that, and then I do 1 scoop of creatine. Some creatine does taste a little bit weird. I use monohydrate. You can use HCl, which is a stronger form of creatine, but it gives it a really sour taste. So I just use monohydrate. It's about 5 grams. And then I do 50 grams of carbs, so pure carbs, which is a big bucket that looks like this. Pure carbs essentially depends which one you get. I've got the Glycoload. Usually I get pure carbs from Gentech. It's a source of sugar, a source of carbohydrates that replenish your muscles a lot faster than a normal carbohydrate meal because your body digests it a lot quicker. So I do 1 scoop of that. I don't use almond milk. I only use water because I have almond milk in the morning with my cereal. So then I just keep it to 1 serving of milk. I'll just count this quickly as well. So I click add food again, go to scan my barcode, and then go to the barcode on here. And that will come up, click tick, and then that's counted. So we've got 18 calories left of the day. I've still got to have my dinner, my meal number 4, so that will be fine. I always use a shake ball when I have pure carbs because sometimes it doesn't mix properly. The pure carbs doesn't mix. It goes really thick in the water. So I don't recommend normal Gen Pop people to take pure carbs. You don't need to. Just stick to your diet plan. If you're unsure, you can message me, reach out to me on IG. My Instagram handle will be below. And we'll work out if you really need to have your pure carbs, but for most people, I don't recommend it. You don't need it. Just stick to your current meal plan. So it does take a little bit to shake up. You can see it sort of doesn't really mix properly. So if you want to use like a NutriBullet, you can do that as well, but I don't mind. I sort of just chew on the chunks. And it's enjoyable. But that's it for this week's video. So we went through my daily shop, a little bit about my recipe book, what I cook as well. The recipe book will be linked down below with heaps of my favorite recipes in there that's going to get your nutrition sorted. If you'd like to score that, you just click the link, you get instant access sent to your email as well. But that's going to be a wrap for today. Next video will be up in a few weeks. We'll do some other things, take you through some training. We might do a little bit of more nutrition talk as well. And we might do some reviews on clothing brands and gym accessories as well. So thanks for watching. Make sure you like it and subscribe so you don't miss out on other videos as well. And all of my handles are down below if you want to check